What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand. This is a very special Thursday episode for Thursday, June 16th, 2022. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, as always, we are here live bringing you guys the latest and greatest news in the world of professional wrestling. Thank you so much for joining us on your Thursday evenings, wherever you may be. Randy Orton, where has he been? We all know that he has been injured over the past couple of weeks after the Bloodline attacked him on an episode of Friday Night SmackDown. It is looking like he could be out for the rest of 2022 with this back injury. What is going to happen here? We'll have all the news for you guys right now. Possibly, he's going to have surgery. So we'll talk about that. Sasha Banks, is she released by WWE? Is she not released by WWE? That obviously made the rounds on WrestleTalk and pretty much everywhere that you pretty much have social media. We got all the news when it comes to that as well. And finally, this whole Vince McMahon stuff. He is in hot water right now. It is not a good look for Vince and especially the rest of the WWE. We're going to have all of that to talk about as well. Make sure you guys continue to support Outside the Brand as much as you possibly can. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below as well. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Hit that thumbs up button as well. And let's try to get this to 20 likes minimum for the podcast tonight. Go check out all the other videos that you may have missed on the channel. Everything that you guys have been seeing this week with the Monday Night Raw review, the Tuesday's talk about the Jeff Hardy situation, all of that is ready for you guys to enjoy. So go check that out. It's all on the homepage of the channel right now. There was no AEW Dynamite review yesterday because I felt like this news kind of took precedence with the Vince McMahon stuff, the Sasha stuff, and obviously Randy Orton. All of that really did take precedence, even though it was a great episode of Dynamite with the Young Bucks becoming tag team champions. You had Christian heel turn. You had there was so much on Dynamite that happened with Will Ospreay for his Forbidden Door match against Orange Cassidy. Thunder Rosa taking on Tony Storm and Hangman Adam Page and Adam Cole and their situation when it comes to the IWGP Heavyweight title. There was so much on the show. Like, it was an absolutely great episode.
Phil, you forgot something, bro. You forgot Wardlow beating the crap out of all those security guards, bro.
And Wardlow, like, that was actually not the best part. That was probably one of the worst segments on that show. But
think so?
Yeah. That was such a lame segment to me. It really was. It was so bad. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it for sure. But yeah, so we didn't have that episode. But we have all that for you guys here tonight. Make sure you guys go follow us on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below. Ramondo, after this video goes live, I will be going to the description and adding your TikTok so that people can follow you if they have not already. You guys can follow me on social media on Twitter and Instagram at BillyMatt_, and you guys can go check out all the links that are down in the description for you guys to just check out and have a lot of fun with. You guys can go also getting your t-shirts at bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise. You guys are never obligated to buy yourself a t-shirt, but if you are ever so inclined to do so, you guys can do that and rep OTB wherever you may go. He got the old logo on there right now.
My bad. I had to show off.
No, you're good. You got the old logo one. You got one of the legacy logos. But you guys can actually go get the new OTB logo that's on the top right corner of Nate's screen. You guys can go get that one on a t-shirt as well. So go get your t-shirt today at bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise. Now let's get right into the news. But first, I want to draw attention to our guest tonight, Ramondo. How the heck are you doing, my brother?
I am good, man, and I appreciate the opportunity. I love this, and I think it's cool, man. You got your own. It's just amazing. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. No problem. We've been wanting to talk to you for a little while now, and it's definitely been a wild ride. first of all, before we get into the news and everything, what made you start getting into Wrestle Talk, and how did you, kind of just come into professional wrestling?
Okay, so I was into professional wrestling as a kid. I had a family member that always wanted to practice moves on me, specifically the pump handle slam. And then I moved with my mom when I was like 12, and she used to watch it when she was younger, like during the days of Andre the Giant, like when Andre was first starting. She was into that kind of during that era. And I told her I liked it. My dad wasn't into me watching it because he was an old school kind of guy. So he just thought it was violent, just thought it was crazy. My mom was actually the cooler one when it came down to that kind of stuff. So she was like, oh, I haven't watched it in a while. Let me check it out. She liked it. I think that was during, when Scott Steiner came back, Big Papa Pump. Yeah, that era back then. And then we just made it a tradition ever since. And I got into it heavy. Then I joined the Navy and I was deployed to the Middle East. And wrestling actually saved my life. We've talked about it before,
Right. Yeah.
So I got into it heavy, like literally saved my life. Like I know people say, but so then I got into more heavy. And then TikTok came out. I was like, I'm never going to have a TikTok. I refuse. I'm not doing it. And
I think we've all been there at one point.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing that. And then when TikTok went and got political and all that stuff, I was like, I'm definitely not playing with TikTok. But then I liked one video, and you know how the algorithm just kind of takes you into that rabbit hole that is whether it's Fit Talk, because I was in the Fit Talk thing, not making videos, but I work out, so I liked it. Then I came across Malik, Narcolepsy Boy, and Suplex. I was like, damn, these guys really doing their thing. So then I started following them, liking their stuff. Then Weezy Blonde came in. Okay, started following her, getting into her stuff. Okay, now I'm down. Now I got Phil. Phil's in there, following him. You're a good, genuine dude. So that I feel like I am too. So I'm and then just it started growing, and I was like, you know what? My cousin is a wrestler, so he was like, just do it. Okay. I started it. Didn't think I was going to get anywhere. And I was just thinking about this. Like, I've met some of the coolest people in the world. I think, and we're all from different places. We just did the podcast the other day, and my God, you're in Connecticut, right? Malik is in Kentucky. I'm in California. You got Renee in Arizona. Like, everybody's just coming together, and that's my favorite part. TikTok is full of drama, bro. Even in the Wrestle Talk community, it gets a little. It can get a little like a soap opera, but there's a lot of good that's been coming out of it. Just conversations, meeting new people, meeting different types of people. It's been a fun ride so far. So I can't complain. So that's my long-winded version of how I got into it.
No, but 100% you're correct in this, because I mean, when I started just, getting into that rabbit hole and everything, the first person I saw was Malik. And then I saw Axel, Axel Guzman, 10-7.
I haven't got his attention yet, man. Axel, I'm here, bro. Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. I haven't got his attention yet.
I saw Axel. Axel was one of the first real people that I saw, because I was just scrolling to the For You page and I saw one of his lives, and I clicked on it, and we were just talking in the chat, doing the thing, and then all of a sudden he was asking where people were from, and at the time he was living in Connecticut, so I just typed out Connecticut and everything, and he's like, "There's no way, bro. Whereabouts in Connecticut?" Because I live in that exact same state. I typed in the city and everything, or the town really, and he's like, "There's no fucking way," because I live in the exact same town.
No shit.
I do. I'm like, holy crap, let's go. Yeah. And then he was like, you know what? I'm getting off this live right now. I'm following you back, and we have to meet up at some point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, let's do it. He ends the live. He messages me, and then COVID hit.
That's
and then
awesome.
COVID hit. And then COVID hit, so we're like, yeah, no, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden we just started talking, and then all of a sudden that got me to meeting Lewis, Alex, and pretty much the rest of the Brotherhood clan and everything.
It's crazy. The first person I ever, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
The first person I spoke to was Wheezy. What happened was she was so like, you know, when you shoot your shot, you don't think you're gonna. That's the definition of shoot. You know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I think I commented on one of her videos, or maybe I commented on my own, and I said something like, "Hey, I'm not gonna stop tagging you until I get your attention." And she was like, she was like, So she followed me. I messaged her. I said, thank you so much. Because I wasn't trying to come off disrespectful or anything, because it's the internet and you get crazy people on it. So I just hit her up and I said, thank you for, acknowledging me. Thank you. I appreciate it. And she was just like, yeah, she gave me the best advice, man. She said, have fun with it. That's it. She said, don't worry about the likes. Don't worry about the numbers. Have fun with it. And then I had this comment that I was just copying, pasting to every like Wrestle Talk person that I came across, and Heel Kevin. And I was like, Heel Kevin was just like, you know what? Shoot your shot. I respect that. Followed me back. So we chopped it up a little bit. Then I was trying to get your attention, Phil. And I would like comment on something. I don't remember what it was that got you to follow me, but I think I just asked you straight up, hey, look at my stuff. If you like it, give me a follow.
You caught my attention real quick, because all of a sudden you started popping up along with Wheels Wrestling, if you know him, and just like these smaller creators and everything, because Panda was doing stuff about smaller creators, and I'm like, this guy, he's like actually gaining my attention for some reason, and it just gravitated towards me. So then all of a sudden I followed you back, and then we started chopping it up, and it was just. It's a great thing,
man. Yeah, and Suplex. I went to New York to go see my family. I've been through something happened, so I went to New York, and Suplex was visiting New York for Double or Nothing. He went to a bar in Manhattan, and I saw that. I'm like, yo, where you at, bro? So we met up for brunch, and we met up in the city, and I was able to treat him and his friend to brunch. So it was cool, man. It was good to meet him face to face. A lot of you guys, when I go back to the East Coast, I plan on hitting you up. I think even Renee, I got family in Arizona, so I told her I would be down and just hit her up. I think it's cool that wrestling is doing that, bringing people together.
Yeah, and that's what it's meant to do, bro. That's what it's meant to do. It's meant to build a community. It's meant to build some kind of camaraderie between one another, and it's just a great thing. I mean, I started watching in 2009, 2010, and I never stopped. Usually people say like there's taking breaks at times or whatever.
Yeah.
I never did because I've just been solely into this, and I wanted to make a podcast for myself because I always had a voice, and I just didn't do that until Wrestle Talk.
That's one of my ultimate goals, is to have a podcast.
Once Wrestle Talk came about, and I'm like, I have a voice on here. Why can't I do it on a podcast? And I just thought of it. Because I'm like, let's go.
That's so cool.
And 200 strong. Episode number 200 is probably going to be this weekend. So
how long have you had it? How long have you had it?
The first show that fans came back on that Friday Night SmackDown. I can't remember the actual date. Aiden, Josh, you guys are the real two mods in this chat. You probably know exactly the date. Yeah. But it was the first show that fans came back, or at least WWE was allowing fans to come back.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it since.
Yeah.
Let's, you know what? No, actually, I kind of want to search that up.
It was the first show that fans came back. That was like in July of last year. I don't know the exact date, but I know it was
some light in here.
Last year.
Let me take a look. Our channel. Go to here. Sort by. No, actually.
Phil, if I wanted
2021.
Where is this? Where can people watch this right now live?
Well, it's live on YouTube right now, but we use StreamYard as our kind of like platform and everything because because I believe there's like two plans for this StreamYard thing. There's like a free version where it's like only you can allow like maybe 2 guests at a time.
Okay.
Or the paid version, which I have, which is like allowing you to have like maybe 5 to 8 guests at a time.
What because I want to share it so people get to it.
The first episode we had was the July 16th, 2021 edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah, that's it.
Damn.
So July 16th was the exact date that we started this thing last year.
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy, Nate. Now that I actually think about it, that's actually really crazy. We're almost at a year. We're almost at a year in this.
That's insane, dude.
Damn. Okay. Well, 1 month exactly is going to be our 1 year there. Okay. Jeez.
That's crazy.
But yeah. So it's been a lot of fun. Listen, if you ever need any help with like setting things up or anything, you know you got me. I've been actually kind of gaining traction with this whole podcast thing because other people are actually like asking me like, how do you even start this? And I'm like, I got you if you ever need it. So just hit me up.
That's awesome.
You're
doing super good, great. Man. Like I'm looking at your stuff right now, man. You're doing awesome.
Thank you.
I like to watch it from the outside. I share it. I try to get my mom to watch it. That's why.
and I know some family members of mine watch this too. So what's going on, guys? But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's just been a great time. So thank you guys so much for joining us already here on Outside the Brand. This has been an absolute blast so far, just talking. But let's get right into the news. We're going to kick things off with the Randy Orton situation because WWE is fearing that Randy Orton could be sidelined for the rest of 2022. This is according to Fightful Select on their Patreon. And it says, and I quote, "Things aren't looking great for Randy Orton these days. Fightful has learned that Orton has been dealing with a back injury for quite some time, to the point that he actually had work done to improve the condition before the tag title unification match on that Friday Night SmackDown when we had that. Though we aren't sure of the extent of the work that was done. We're told that things have gotten progressively worse, and WWE fears that Orton could be going under for surgery. WWE sources that we have spoken to said that if this happens, Orton will most likely be out of action for the rest of 2022. Thus far, the exact injury is unknown. Fightful then has told that Randy Orton isn't factored into the creative plans on WWE TV at the moment. After being slated with this huge role for the summer, Orton appeared on a recently internal injury report for the company and has been off of WWE TV since the loss of the Usos on May 20th. His former tag team partner, as we all know, Matt Riddle, has been moved to the title program with Roman Reigns. As we all know, he has a match against Roman this Friday on Friday Night SmackDown for the Undisputed Championship. And as of this month, Orton had been pitched heavily to be his SummerSlam opponent, Roman. And it was going to be Roman versus Orton for the championship at SummerSlam. We've not heard of the surgery taking place thus far. The wilder things have happened than a surprise recovery, but WWE has already put an alternative creative plan in place. This is huge, guys. Okay? Because at the end of the day, that is 2 major injuries going down within the WWE, that being Randy Orton and obviously Cody Rhodes with his torn pec.
Yep.
But, and I hate being the bearer of bad news here, but this is WWE's fault at the end of the day. They haven't really built anybody else up to be a part of this creative plan other than Riddle. And, Kevin Owens could be a great guy for Roman. but where has he been? There's a ton of people that could have been in spots for Roman Reigns over the next few months. And honestly, we've seen it. I mean, when Cesaro was here in WWE, he was doing some great things. They did stuff with Bryan Danielson, Edge, you name it. Roman has done it, and Roman has had one of the best title reigns within the last few decades. I mean, you can even say that. I mean, at the end of the day, Roman's work has been fantastic, whether you liked it or not.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And, you know, with Randy going down, with Cody going down, those are really the two major storylines that we're going to go for Roman heading into WrestleMania, heading into the future, especially with Clash of the Castle coming up with Drew McIntyre. So
what
the
is
injury
Drew
bug
booked
is
for?
still biting.
What is
It's
Drew
still
booked
biting. Drew books for he is doing the Clash of the Castle pay-per-view, or at least that's what's planned.
Okay.
In September.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, they could have done stuff so much easier if they didn't have Randy on the type of schedule that he's been on, because he's been going at it for, I mean, come on now. The man's been fully active for the majority of the time since Roman has been gone. And with that attack on Randy, I should say, from the Bloodline, that's what caused this. And now WWE is scrambling, trying to find something new. I mean, I don't even know what we're going to get at SummerSlam.
When is SummerSlam?
I mean, I think it's like at the end of July.
Look it up.
It's not even in August this year for some reason, like it
That's what I
usually
was
is.
gonna say. Usually it's August, but I heard they changed it. Or it's not that, because August is my birth date here. Let me check it out.
July 30th. So yeah.
Okay, pretty much August.
And then Clash of the Castle is September 3rd. So we're going to have a full month of build for Clash. But yeah, I mean, we might not... If Roman doesn't show up at SummerSlam Styles, that's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't showed up for Hell in a Cell. He showed up for Backlash, but he wasn't even in a title match. He was doing a 6-person tag. He needs to show up. He needs to show up. He didn't show up in Money in the Bank.
Yeah. It's crazy that Roman's become that guy, you know? Like I'm a big Roman tribal chief, dare I say Mark. You know, but like you can't.
I'm a Roman fan too, but at the end of the day, you have to show up. You're holding 2 championships.
Yeah, the two biggest ones.
Yes. I mean, Raw doesn't even have a world championship at this point. Like they don't have a world title. And SmackDown, what are they fighting for? Walter?
But do you think that it's gonna be? You think it's gonna be one of those things that they did with Brock? Like as much as we were angry that Brock wasn't showing up, we all tuned in when Brock showed up. You know what I mean?
Yes. And the thing is, yes, I do believe people will continue to watch once Roman is there. I think when Roman shows up on tomorrow's SmackDown with Matt Riddle, everybody's going to be tuning in. Yeah. I mean, because it's Riddle, and with the way that they have been building up Riddle, it has been great. Riddle has been looking phenomenal since this whole push for him started.
As much as people want Roman to lose now, it's becoming that thing like, damn, I want to see Roman lose. I want to see him lose, so I'm going to tune in and hope. Which, if you don't mind, I have a question for you. Do you think do you remember when Cody said that he will never challenge for the AEW World Championship ever again if he was to lose? You remember that?
Yes. That was a part of the contract that he had.
Right. Yeah. And Cody said that he regretted kind of taking himself out of the title picture. Cody did admit that he regrets making that decision, or maybe he shouldn't have made that decision.
Right.
Now, according to Paul Heyman, if Riddle loses, he never gets a Universal Championship match again, right? That was one of the stipulations.
While Roman is champion, yes.
Okay, did he say it was while Roman is champion?
Yes.
Okay. Then that just.
Yeah. Now, that Cody situation when it came to AEW, that was a very different time, obviously, for AEW, because obviously AEW from that time to now is a dramatic change.
Yeah.
But, that's one of the reasons why Cody kind of left AEW in the first place. He didn't want to be like a 12-time TNT WCW, 24/7 champion. So
yeah.
But yeah, like he wanted to be a world champion at least at some point in his career to continue on the legacy of his father, and that is where he is right now.
And you know what? The WWE World Championship, it's still, as much as we love AEW is still in its infancy. You know what I mean?
Right.
The creme de la creme is WWE, whether you like it or not, or criticize it or not. WWE is the biggest. They are what they are. They're a superpower right now. So no matter what you feel about it, you can't deny that WWE has been around for almost a century.
Yeah.
So
what's going on, Loft? I see you in here, my man. We just started with our first story about the whole Randy Orton back injury.
Yo.
What's going on?
Hold on.
No worries, man.
I wanted to tell you the one thing I heard you say that it caused me some confusion too. Paul Heyman said that Riddle will never get a championship shot again.
That's what I thought.
The commercial
I
for SmackDown.
I thought it was what Roman said.
No, Paul Heyman on Raw told Riddle that he will never get a championship shot again.
That's what I thought.
Later on the night, SmackDown said, I think that they had like little words on the bottom of it that he won't get a championship shot as long as Roman is champion.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Like I thought it was while Roman is champion.
Yeah, it should be. I think
Yeah. So my thing is that you kind of give away the finish regardless. If you say that he will never be, he will never be up for the championship. Period. I think that's kind of shooting. Why would Riddle do that to himself? Why would anybody do that to themselves? Period.
Right.
And then if you say while Roman is champion, you kind of just gave it away that, that Roman is gonna go over because,
it's Roman, right? So I mean, listen. At the end of the day, this has been a crazy situation when it comes to Riddle, Randy Orton. I mean, Randy Orton was supposed to be going after Roman for SummerSlam, but now with this back injury and possibly a back surgery, it's not going to be taking place anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I don't know who you put in his place unless you want to run back the Seth Rollins thing, which I feel like only can go through if Seth Rollins goes over. So I don't even know if you even do that.
You want to know who I propose?
Who?
Bobby Lashley.
Why?
Bobby Lashley.
Why?
I said that to you. I said that to you a while ago.
And the thing is, Laugh, I agree, because he never got his chance back. He lost it in the Elimination Chamber when he never even got pinned because WWE put him inside the Elimination Chamber while injured. They, now thinking back at it, Laugh, I 100% agree. Doing Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns is probably the only situation. I mean, I don't know what they're doing right now with the Money in the Bank because it looks like Bobby's going after Austin.
Yeah.
And you know what? Bobby Lashley looks great and he's moving great. Like, you kind of forget that he's an older guy. Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, that dude is 45.
Yeah, and he's been around, man. I remember his debut. I was like probably 14. I'm 31. So you kind of forget Bobby Lashley's an older guy. How much gas does he have in the tank left? Even though he looks great, I'm sure he doesn't feel great every day. He doesn't feel like these guys are putting everything on the line as far as physicality goes. So I do hope Bobby Lashley gets his time, like a nice solid, because his run was pretty good. As WWE champion, his run was pretty good. So I hope they don't
we'll definitely see. Bobby Lashley's a good one.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins is
got
obviously another great one.
Bro, I still say, bro, Seth Rollins got screwed over so much in January, bro. It's absolutely crazy.
Really?
Like,
Wait, what do you mean?
With day one, he was supposed to beat Big E, and then it just turned into a fatal 5-way match, including Brock. So Brock won that. Then he
at
lost
the
to
Rumble.
Roman he lost to Roman at the Rumble. Like, man, so
he technically won, but he got choked out in semantics.
Yeah. But who else would you put the strap on?
Honestly, bro, there's really nobody else that's kind of built up the caliber in order to get a shot at Roman other than those two people, I feel. Maybe McIntyre. I think McIntyre should win at Clash. I really do.
I like McIntyre, but I can't get behind him. You know what I mean? Like, I do like him. This isn't a fucking, sorry, excuse me. This isn't a.
No, you're good.
Bash McIntyre, but if he was champion, I wouldn't care. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has their character, and McIntyre is not my character right now.
And you know what? I kind of see where you're coming from, but the first reign that he had, let's keep in mind, it was in front of nobody. Right. Because the pandemic was here.
Great. He did.
He carried Raw through that time, I have to say.
COVID WWE was not, they did their thing. They did really well for what it was.
They really tried. They tried for what it was, and I mean, it felt so weird watching it, and it felt so weird even reviewing it because, you know, for me, especially when I'm watching the product and everything, crowd reaction is huge, not only for them, but for me. It's just I hate calling myself a critic, but it's just what we do now. But yeah, crowd reaction is a huge thing. And then all of a sudden when that was not possible, I think I can kind of speak for all of us. It was weird. So weird.
I disappeared.
AJ can get it. AJ Styles can make a point. Like if you
AJ had a good run.
Yeah.
AJ had a great run.
Because him and Roman had a match. What was that? Like 6 years ago? I feel like that match was like.
It was like Extreme Rules. Like one of those years, it was like at an Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and it was great.
They did a very good job together.
AJ had a good run. I think one of my favorite runs was Daniel Bryan when he had the hemp title.
Oh man!
I thought
wait a second.
So good.
Wait, the eco-friendly championship, bro. That was one of my favorite things from him.
I thought, and you know what? That belt looked sick. The whole with the brand, it was like pebbles. You know what I mean? Like that belt was sick. They don't sell it. Is WWE selling it?
No,
I don't think so. Not anymore.
No.
Yeah.
That was a good
It brought a
championship
different
belt.
side of Bryan, and the thing is, I felt more like that was Bryan Danielson more than Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
You saw the real Bryan Danielson out of it, and you saw a lot of Ring of Honor stuff from him too. That's when he started doing the whole stomping your head in and everything. He obviously brought that to AEW.
Yeah.
He was doing that at that time.
That was a great run, calling everyone fickle, like, and it's so true. WWE fans are
so good.
Even even us, we have our fickle tendencies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I just thought that was great. That was a good run. That was a solid run. And you know who else I feel like needs a run? A solid push, Finn Balor. I feel like Finn Balor is not being pushed.
He got screwed over so badly in his match with Roman. Like that was so bad.
I don't understand why they're doing him like this because he's good on the mic, especially as a heel. Great on the mic. One of the best wrestlers, like pro wrestlers. He's right there with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
They have a very similar style. Their style is between Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Finn Balor. There's a lot of similarities in their style.
The thing is, Finn, like Saul was saying in the chat, Wrestling Talk Universal, he never truly got a chance. He never did. Once he had to relinquish the Universal title, he never got a rematch back, and he's never been there since.
Why haven't we seen the Demon? Like, why hasn't that character come out? I feel like there's a reason for that.
There's definitely a reason, but we just don't know. I mean, I know Finn Balor usually loves bringing that only for special occasions.
Right.
But, I mean, I haven't really seen it since. Well, he brought it out at Roman, right?
Yeah.
And then we haven't seen it since.
Did he beat Roman?
No, he lost.
He lost because it got and that was the first ever time it happened.
They cut the freaking rope on him. I'm like, bro,
that sucks. Oh, that sucks.
You remember that, Loff? I mean, it was an insane. Like, everybody was so mad on the Extreme Rules like post show. It was so bad because
that's such a bad night.
No bueno.
But
gosh, I just got mad again.
I just got
mad. Well, listen. I mean, you can do Finn. Obviously, Kevin Owens is another one. You can do Seth. You can do Seth, AJ. There's a ton of people that Roman can go for. Like, it's not like they have like short change of people.
Sheamus too. Because
Sheamus,
I was about to say,
he's getting lost in the shuffle too. But
Sheamus has been the MVP for like the last few years. I feel he puts on banger matches every single time. The man continues to kill it.
Yes, dude's in phenomenal shape, and Sheamus is a big man. Sheamus is a skyscraper of a man.
I about to say another one. As much as I don't like the guy, Baron Corbin.
Bum ass.
That's another one.
No, bum ass.
Whoa, watch it. Wait. What do you mean?
Bum ass.
Listen, Baron Corbin is a phenomenal heel. He's a great heel.
I'll give you that. Yes. But like when you say you can't, like when you say you can't just get behind Drew. I just can't get behind Baron.
That's fair.
I can't.
I hate Baron.
I hate Baron too.
I haven't been able to get behind Baron since NXT.
Yeah, I hate Baron.
Was time.
Like I hate Baron too, but like he's underrated. Like
underrated. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, he's not my favorite, but I agree with you, bro. Severely underrated.
I think he's a very underrated heel because he can really just make you hate his guts.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's what Loff and I do. I mean we hit on his guts countless times.
Man.
But as a wrestler and as an in-ring performer, I just don't see it. I really don't.
It's kind of like, you know what? The Miz is a great heel, but he's been so good that I'm like to the point where I'm starting to really like him. I really like The Miz and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is very underappreciated. Maybe not underrated as much because everyone knows he's a great worker, but I think he's underappreciated. He does a lot of good stuff.
Sammy does what he's told. Sammy, in whatever role that he has been a part of, he has been killing it every time.
Yeah. Even the match, the Johnny Knoxville thing, that was such a good match.
It was entertaining, yes.
Yeah.
Was it embarrassing at the end of the day for I think Sammy? Yeah, but he kind of built himself back up from that with getting involved with the Bloodline and
but building himself back up. He got slammed by Wee Man, And I thought that was awesome.
The Wee Man spot popped me. I will say that the Wee Man spot popped me. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Randy Orton going down with this back injury. It may seem like a huge loss, and honestly, it really is a huge loss. But at the end of the day, there are so many people that WWE can use as a backup plan until Randy's back. And we just named a ton of them. Okay, guys. So listen, WWE, Bruce, Vince. I know you watch this shit. Okay, listen to us. Listen to us.
You're going through a lot right now.
Listen to us, Marks.
I'm about to say Vince is kind of in a whole bunch of drama right now, so I'm pretty sure he's not watching.
Well, we'll talk about that too.
He's in a sticky situation, bro. Like right now.
You know what? I have I got some questions / thoughts to ask you guys about that.
When it comes to that situation, we'll definitely get there.
Oh God.
Soon.
Yeah, tell us when we're gonna talk about it. I got some questions.
Okay, cool. We're going to move right on in now to the Sasha Banks situation.
Yes.
Bob, I know you were pretty much going at it pretty much all day, I feel, with people on the Sasha Banks situation, or pretty much I definitely have been.
Bro, I woke up this morning at 3 a.m, right? I see you post. I'm like, hold on, wait. I'll go to your post and you said that, and I'm still half asleep. So I'm thinking, am I dreaming? I'm about to freak out.
Now, bear in mind, in my post,
delirious.
I said it hasn't been confirmed yet.
Yeah, and then I go on Twitter, and then everyone's saying the same thing. I'm like, what? And no one really confirmed it except that guy. So
this report all had came out because of a goddamn tweet by Raj Giri. Now, Raj Giri is a part of what website is he a part of, guys? I think he's a part of like wrestling, like fight. He's not Fightful.
Isn't it Fightful Select?
It's not Fightful. No, that's Sean. Okay. It's WrestlingNews.co or wrestling or something of that nature. But
okay,
he showed this tweet. Okay, he tweeted this out at like pretty much 11 o'clock at night yesterday, saying, "I'm hearing Sasha Banks has been released. I don't know if it's her requesting it or if it was on WWE's end." And then Twitter just went into a shitstorm. I mean, you know how Twitter gets. It's a tornado over there, and it's completely crazy. And Sean Ross Sapp, then obviously he came into it, and then all of a sudden Fightful, they're reporting it, who's obviously run by Sean, but then like the entire thing comes out. Then other news articles come out with Ringside News, and then WrestlingNews.co, and then pretty much everybody and their mother was tweeting out that Sasha has been released.
Wrestle Talk on the YouTube page, Wrestle Talk, they kind of spoke on it. They didn't confirm or deny it, but they fucking Sasha Banks released ?
It's so Wrestling Inc. Thank you guys, Aiden. Thank you, Aiden.
Everyone's that's like word on the street right now, but I think we have to wait for WWE to say, good luck on your future endeavors,
Don't ever just take a tweet as news.
No. And that's the problem. Like, social media is not news.
Because everybody does. Everybody does. And it's crazy to even think about. But what WrestlingNews.co is reporting, it says report, Sasha Banks released by WWE, which is not the case. It's not the case right now.
Right.
She is not released. I'm telling you guys right now, she is not released.
Okay.
I don't think she was released just yet because WWE would have said that, and they're not going to release somebody at 11:58 p.m. at night. They're not. That just sounds fishy to me. But at the end of the day, WrestlingNews.co put out this news report saying Wrestling Inc.'s Raj Giri is reporting that Sasha Banks has been released by WWE. Giri has been he has a good track record and he would not report this unless his solid sources tell him that this is pretty accurate. Banks and Naomi, as we all know, walked out on WWE several weeks ago due to creative differences. At the point, there is no word on Naomi's status with the company, but it is believed that her contract is up in a few weeks.
Okay, so check this out. Fucking this is where it becomes he said, she said. So on MSN, it is saying this is kind of nuts. And I will get the source. I just want to make sure I source it correctly before I even say it. But I'm just going to read what I'm reading. I'm just going to show you what I'm reading. It says, I cannot confirm that she has been released, but I did hear late last week that her attorneys are working on getting it done. So I'm guessing
I was bringing that in too.
She wants a release. She wants to get out, and obviously she's under contract. So either they're going to buy out the contract or they're going to let her go. Either way, it's going to be a loss for WWE, but a gain for anywhere else if she decides. Because that's another thing too. Sasha's been dipping her feet in acting. She's been doing other things, and it doesn't seem like she has, in my opinion, the same love that she once had. I think she wants to explore I think she wants to explore new things. I think she wants to try new. She was in Star Wars, like that's a huge freaking
and she
deal.
killed it. She killed it too.
She did great. She doesn't only have WWE action figures; she has Star Wars action figures. Like, you're in a whole nother level. So
at the end of the day, you're 100% right in this. She is a businesswoman at the end of the day, and when she feels like she is not getting the proper, like stuff that she deserves, she's going to speak out about it, and that's exactly what she did on the walkout. People were obviously saying as the walkout was happening, oh my God, Sasha, she manipulated Naomi into doing the same thing, which obviously Naomi is her own person. She has her own thoughts, her own opinions, and she's going to stand by her girl no matter what, regardless of what is going to happen. But she has her own choice. She can make her own choices. She's a grown woman. But from what things are also saying, her Banks obvious. I'm just going to read the rest of it here, and then you can say your thing. Ramondo, my bad.
Yeah.
But Banks obviously signed, as we all know, in the company in 2012, became one of the top names in NXT as a women's champion. Then all of a sudden, we know her pedigree and all that stuff. But in the last couple of years, like you said, she's had her eye on Hollywood.
Yeah.
Her release would mean that she would be free to wrestle anywhere, including. Listen, if she wants to return to professional wrestling once this is all said and done and maybe the 90 days are out or whatever. Loff, I know you don't want to hear it. Nate, I know you probably don't want to hear it either. Guys, I know you guys probably don't even want to hear it in the chat. But Tony Khan would be calling on day number 89 to get her on that day 90.
For sure. That's a come up for anybody. But on the other hand of that, Tony Khan would call, but like, I love Sasha Banks, huge fan. But the world is still gonna go. The wrestling world is still gonna turn, whether she's there or not. It's turning right now, and her leaving just opens up a spot for the next superstar.
Yeah.
So,
I think at the end of the day. And I've heard a ton of people say this, and I watch another podcaster in the community as well. And he's always stood by this when it comes to the Sasha Banks situation. Sasha doesn't need WWE, but WWE damn sure needs Sasha Banks.
Do they though?
Desperate in a desperate situation, yes, but in a as an overall standpoint, not totally, because you got women like Liv, you got women like obviously Naomi if she's still in the company. You got people to fall back on, and you guys can have them, level up into the people that they could be, because we all know Liv could be a star. Obviously, Bianca's great.
I was just gonna say that.
Many others.
I got a question on my end from Big Lou, and it was a two-parter. It said, "Do you believe Sasha walking out was more in support for her friend Naomi, for Naomi's treatment in the company, and if that's the case, did it backfire? And also, Liv could sure you fill in." A spot available, because Liv Morgan is doing her thing too.
Yeah, anything's possible. I don't know her personally. I didn't know her motives when she was doing that. But at the end of the day, she did this for a reason, guys. She wouldn't just, in my honest opinion, not knowing Sasha Banks as a person, but just getting from what she has been over the course of just knowing her within the WWE, I just feel like she wouldn't be walking out just to say, "Oh yeah, fuck you, I'm walking out."
Yeah.
Laugh. I know this whole walking out situation really kind of it made you upset, definitely in ways, but people were starting to question real Sasha Banks fans. And like whether this was going to be, oh my God, I'm going to stand with Sasha, or, you know, this unprofessionalism or whatever they really called it on that Friday Night SmackDown when they announced it, or Monday Night Raw, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the only thing you have. I never saw a reason. I never saw a reason to make fun of Sasha and Naomi for what they did. I
agreed.
Yeah.
I stand by them for everything that they've done so far, because I don't think anything they did was unprofessional in the slightest. I wonder. Partially, I wonder what the real story is. I really don't care at this moment, because it seems like, as of right now, Sasha really doesn't care, and it seems like Naomi doesn't care either. We haven't really heard that much from her, but
Naomi's pretty much gone dead silent.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just worried about where this goes, because it seems like Sasha's done from whatever report is happening. I can't imagine Naomi coming back, because I don't think she has any incentive to come back, you know?
Okay.
And it's just like the fact that people threw them in the ringer so fast, it just made me question, like, for a second, I'm like, am I wrong? And I'm like, wait a minute. No, I'm not, because people, I think everyone, I think all of us, in a way, we, as connected as we are to professional wrestling, sometimes, I'm gonna speak for myself here, I forget that I am not a wrestler. I do not work here. As much as I think I know, as much as I watch, I don't know anything. I'm just talking, you know?
Right.
We're all just going off of what we think. So you have to take that into account when real life stuff like this happens, when people are really having issues with creative and all the other stuff backstage, all the backstage politics and stuff like that, that these people are real people when that camera turns off, you know?
Right.
So
you're right.
That's the one thing I have to keep in my head. Like, all this stuff is happening on a day-to-day basis, and things are changing. These past 24 hours, 48 hours, we've read so much stuff that's happened, and it's just like, it's crazy, because we don't know. All we know is what's seen on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and what the dirt sheets say, and half the time that's not even true. But when like this real stuff comes out, it's like, okay, what's real and what's not, you know? Then that word fake starts flying around, and then we hear, oh, this is a work and all this stuff. It's
tired of that.
You know, it's all part of a game that all of us play while just being a part of the IWC at the end of the day. But I mean, I just want Sasha and Naomi to be happy at the end of the day, because I never had
it on the nose. They are people, you know.
Yeah, I never had a reason to dislike Sasha or Naomi. I do think that both of them deserve to be at the top of the card when they were on SmackDown. But seeing that those women's tag titles were treated like trash, maybe they should go somewhere else. Maybe they should take their talent somewhere else. I know I wouldn't like it, because I just like Sasha in WWE, but at the end of the day, she's gonna do whatever she wants to do, and like everyone said, she does not need to be a wrestler. You know, she's already surpassed that. We all know that she's surpassed the wrestler.
My bad, but you kind of put something in my head. So Sasha is I think Sasha has more clout and wiggle room to kind of behave this way than Naomi. Not that Naomi is like one is better than the other, but Sasha is the more, I guess, prolific. I don't know what word to use, but Sasha's the more mainstream champion, wrestler, and actress. Do you think that Naomi walking out, that's kind of like, she doesn't have that clout, does she?
Yes and no. I'm only saying yes because I feel that if she was given the leeway to do it, she could. I feel like she's been handcuffed a lot in this company, because I think they never really gave her the chance to like go past what they wrote for her. Like when she had the whole glow stuff, it was cool, but I think it went too far, because there's only so much you can do with that. It wasn't really too much of a character. All it was is just, oh, she looks cool, and the kids, oh, lights on, glow sticks. It didn't really go more into that with the promos and stuff, because what is she gonna say? My shit glows. Like, it doesn't go anywhere, you know. So I think we could have gave Naomi like a little bit more leeway to just move past that and show her actual charisma, because she showed bits and pieces of it, even when she was doing the Funkadactyls, even when she was in NXT and they were doing like the crazy stuff. She showed that little bit of stuff, but it seems like they didn't really care, you know. And not to mention, she's a great wrestling competitor. You know what I'm saying?
She's an amazing athlete.
You know, she can move. She can
She's
move.
a great athlete. I agree.
I don't know. I think they will have to give her some room to work with. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of wrestlers are there, they have the potential, but they are just stuck in creative hell, so they don't have any room, you know?
But I also, like, here's the thing. When all of this came out with Sasha and Naomi, oh my God, they walked out. The first thing people were thinking of, Sasha manipulated Naomi to do this. Naomi doesn't have her own mind. She just followed her girl wherever she went.
Yeah.
And listen, at the end of the day, Naomi can speak her own mind. She has her own brain. She has her own thoughts. She has her own opinions. But everybody was talking about, why is Sasha doing this? Sasha's a spoiled brat for doing this. Sasha's been given everything in the world in WWE, and now all of a sudden, just because she went into a little bit of a downward spiral with these tag team championships, and all of a sudden she just thinks she can walk away. It was never about that.
Well, can I play freaking devil's advocate here? Sasha, I think that, mind you, I'm a Sasha fan, okay? Chop my head off in the comments.
Yeah, I think we all are.
I think running a business, you can't just allow your people, you can't allow the inmates to run the asylum. You can't. So it's one of those things that people are thinking about it. People are supporting her, and that's great because I support what she did. I think it's important to stand up for yourself, walk out if you don't you're being treated fairly. But at the same time, they have a company to run. That's why there's contracts. That's why there's the 90 days, no compete clause. That's why there's these things in place. You can't just, you can, but there are consequences to it. It's just like freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want, but if you get punched in your mouth, those are the consequences, right? You can walk out if you're not happy, but there are consequences. And she is a champion. Even though she didn't like what they were doing, she was still holding titles. So there's that side of it too. It is unprofessional to walk out. You can't just put titles on it's like I was in the Navy, right? So I couldn't just leave a position or my post because I wanted to. And no matter how many, in my 12 years, man, I was highly upset. I was running around the desert with a weapon and I didn't want to be there. I couldn't just leave, Yeah. I could have, but that would have, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, I support it. I'm happy for her, but there are consequences to it. So.
Yeah. And no, there definitely are. It's just, I feel like but it's also, ever since this news came out, though, everybody's just talking about Sasha. Nobody's really mentioning about Naomi. It's kind of been like an entire smear campaign for Sasha and how she was the one that was unprofessional. She was the one that got Naomi to do this, not the other way around.
And that's because Sasha's the bigger star. That comes with being the bigger star. It
definitely comes with it, but does it make it right? No, to me. No, it doesn't really make it right.
I feel you.
Like,
of course not.
But at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. And if she gets released, if she doesn't get released,
I guarantee you this is a rough time for Sasha and Naomi, but they're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? These are first world problems. At the end of the day, they're first world problems. I just wish, that, and it sounds kind of cliche and corny, I wish them the best, but Sasha's going to be successful. They're both they're going to be all right. But you just wish that things didn't play out the way they did on both sides, WWE side and Naomi and Sasha's side.
Now, Fightful Select, they also released a report earlier on. Actually, Sean stayed up until like 3 or 4 in the morning to release this article about what we do know and what we don't know about this Sasha Banks situation. This is from Fightful Select, and it says, for those asking about Raj Giri's report on Sasha Banks being released, here is what we know. Sean Ross Sapp spoke to Giri hours prior, who informed him to the claim of Banks' release. Fightful reached out to numerous WWE representatives, one of which got back to us and stated, quote, "Not that I've heard," in regards to the release. They confirmed later that they saw Jiri's tweet but didn't comment beyond that. Thus far, nobody in WWE has explicitly shot it down. They've just said that they haven't heard about it. This is as it pertains to the talent, the front office, public relations, and the rest of the staff. If Sasha has been released, the company has been kept very quiet. Contacts close to the talent relations are unaware of release as of 8 p.m. last night. Fightful exhausted a number of sources this afternoon and weren't able to find anyone who could confirm or deny the release that happened. We continue to exhaust our resources as this is a huge story. The claim, again, unverified by us as of yet. We're known, though, that Banks's lawyers, like you were saying before, have been involved and they have been trying to get out of the contract. As far as Sasha remains on the roster on WWE.com and have not been, there hasn't been any internal memos sent out to the staff as of 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or obviously today, June 16th. The removal of her on the website roster page or other pages. There is an urgent email sent earlier this week to a live venue to remove her from all advertising, as she is no longer a part of that event. We've also not heard of any talent relation memos being sent to other talent who are often notified of releases. So at the end of the day, guys, what that all entails is just we simply don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know.
That just sounds like a bunch of he said, she said.
We just don't know. And at the end of the day, until WWE says it or a legit confirmation is set in stone, we don't know. And that's all we can go by now. Like that's all we can go by. Obviously, Sasha is not showing up anytime soon because Sasha was written off of not only TV, as well as Naomi, but they both were taken off of all live events for the rest of the summer. So they're not doing anything. And until WWE or anybody else really comes to fruition, I don't buy it being a release yet. I just can't personally.
Yeah, everything is going to be speculation.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, that's what we got for you when it comes to Sasha Banks' situation. I know a ton of people on TikTok were like, oh my gosh, Sasha's release. Not yet. And until we really get some concrete information, which we will be bringing you guys, trust me, if it actually ever does actually come out, I mean, we're going to be bringing it here. And then we'll figure out where things are going and where she could possibly be going up and everything. But as of right now, we're okay. We're okay. And it's nothing so far. So we're good for that. But now, guys, the big story.
Let's go.
The big story.
A lot to say.
Vince is in some deep doo-doo right now. Ramondo, you also had some things you wanted to say about this as well. Oh, shoot. His camera disconnected.
Can you hear me?
There we are. Yep, we can. Oh, nope. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. But guys, Vince is in some deep doo-doo right now. Oh, what the hell happened? Ramondo. Anyway.
Yeah, what's going on? I'm like,
I got no idea.
Technical difficulty. There we go. Jeez Louise, sorry.
There we go. No worries. But yeah, guys, first initial thoughts when you heard about this Vince McMahon thing. This is kind of insane.
I have like,
and that's just to say the least, really.
I want to go last. I'm curious what these guys have to say.
Go ahead, Nate.
Oh man,
well, I think Lob's trying to process everything.
All right. Well, when I first heard it, I immediately thought, I'm like, oh man, Trish Stratus is about to get paid.
Oh my god. I'm like,
it's either gonna be Trish, it's gonna be Sable,
AC Keebler is who I thought of.
One of them. I'm like, one of them is about to get paid.
Oh yeah, dude, I thought of AC Keebler for sure.
Damn, bro,
hilarious.
Oh man, that's what I thought.
God.
That's exactly what I thought. And then once I actually read the article and found out that it was a paralegal, I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's yeah, that's something different. All right, cool. Yeah. So, and then once I found out that he passed her off to John Laurinaitis, I'm like, oh my god, bro. I'm like, it's just getting worse. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh man,
that's some sloppy shit.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, dog. I'm gonna censor myself. I want to say something else, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna wait for a little bit. But I read AJ's book, and the stuff that she said that happens as far as like what classifies the women as like world champions and stuff like that.
Wait, AJ Lee?
Yeah,
AJ Lee. Okay. Yeah.
There's a part in her book where she talked about like why when she first got there she wasn't like pushed, and she said that it was because the guys backstage, they didn't want to have sex with her.
No way.
That was the reason why she didn't get pushed when she first got there, is because she wasn't considered desirable, not by the fans, but by the men backstage.
Okay. In countless interviews, she has also said that exact remark.
You know, and then it's like you have people like women were saying this all the time. Like Ember Moon said it. Ashley Massaro, rest in peace. She was a huge. I feel like Ashley was like one of those people that Vince looked at like just as like not even a wrestler, just as like just looked at her for her body, and she ended up passing away. But it was just like I feel like all of that led to just his mistreatment of the women. And we were talking about this months ago when I was talking about the Diva Search and stuff like that.
Yeah,
there is a whole backstage issue with the fact that the men backstage will not push the women unless they find them sexually attractive. They don't. They didn't care about the.
It's an agenda.
You know, we kind of talk about that now, Lof. I about to say, me and you talked about that before.
Yeah, it's always been like that, and now this stuff is obviously a little different, but at the same time, it still falls into the fact that it seems like backstage and a long time ago, obviously now is I hope it's different, even though from what Ember said, it's kind of not that different at all. Women were just treated like trash, and they weren't looked at as like actual people back then, you know. And Vince is already all the stuff that we saw Vince McMahon do on TV just as storylines. You don't think of that stuff. Like you don't just think of that stuff without living some of it, you know, like all the Trish Stratus stuff and all the weird freaky stuff Bo would do, making Lita go out there and do that stuff with Edge, like all that stuff is like clues. He's like, hey, this is what I'm thinking, and we just saw it as like, oh, it's wrestling, but now that they're pulling the curtain back, it just makes it look terrible. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think a lot of people really realized it, because obviously it was hidden pretty well, and because they have that stuff in there, but then they try to fit in the women empowerment stuff so it doesn't look like 100% bad. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been saying before. I've always thought that women should be backstage doing the women's wrestling. I think women should be writing women's creative. I do not think these men should be out there writing stories for the women, because they're only going to go off of what they're sexually aroused by.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie and say that that the look of the women's wrestlers doesn't apply, because then I'll just be lying to you.
Yeah. It has an appeal, right?
So, but at the same time, they are wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? They are. This is what they're there for. They're not here to be taken off of a modeling thing or whatever place they were at that looked at them for their body. They're not here for that. They're here to be wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? So when you have all these wrestlers out here that are looked at as just like just people with women with bodies, and they're not really worried about what their actual talent is, or if they have that talent, if they're good at wrestling, you know.
Right.
It just makes it look bad. And this situation is just, I feel like it all binds into one. Obviously it isn't as specific as what I was talking about, but I feel like it all binds into one with something that has been going on back there. And I feel like this is partially leading to Nick Khan like ripping off everything that Vince and I think Stephanie knows. So I think that's why she dipped. I think Shane knows that's why he dipped. I think a lot of stuff here
is gonna say that,
pulling back the curtain. So when whoever takes the fall for this, however bad this could get, it could just blow over, or this could get bad. I think a year from now, this company is going to be totally different, because I don't think Vince is going to be in front anymore. I don't think John Laurinaitis is going to be in front anymore. I don't think Bruce is going to be in front. I think Nick Khan is going to be the catalyst of this, and we've been asking for change in this company for a long time. We're going to get some change. I don't know how. I feel like they're about to buy him out to Disney, and then this company's about to take a turn left. I'm trying to tell you.
It might.
You know.
Yeah.
Now,
we don't know.
They might change the game on everybody.
This is going to be a totally different company a year from now. This is going to be a totally different company, no matter what happens. I honestly, just wrap this up, I honestly don't want this to turn more negative than it already is, because it already seems bad. I just want this, whatever happened, I need whoever was doing this to be reprimanded for it, get them out the way. This doesn't, and then move on from this. Get the people who were doing wrong out the way. Don't sweep this under the rug. Handle it, get it over with. Because at the end of the day, this company has so many ties to other different stuff. If you let something like this take you down, now you're even the worse. And this company has been dodging scandals for years. Worse scandals, you know. So you just gotta handle this. You gotta handle this now. Whoever was in the wrong here, get them out the way, and then go from here, because it doesn't look good at all.
Now, Josh, we don't normally highlight comments really anymore on this channel like we used to, but Loft, if you are ever so inclined to remember the name of the book, I believe it's Crazy is My Superpower?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yep.
Yeah. Crazy is My Superpower, or something of that nature.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. You can look it up on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can look it up right now.
Yep, that's it. Crazy is My Superpower.
Crazy is My Superpower.
$6 on Amazon. Y'all better get that.
You said only $6?
Yeah, the price drop.
I'm a terrible reader, but I'm gonna have to get the audio book if you got one.
I'll sign up to Audible right now and get like the audio version of this book for sure, because
$28. The Audible version is $28. That's crazy.
Dang!
That's how much I paid for the book.
Well, here's the thing. For Audible, here's where JD comes into play. Loft. If you sign up with his promo code or whatever, I think you can get the first book for free. So, so if it happens,
hold on.
You can do that. And it's audio versions. So you can get your first audio book for free. I might actually pin that down in the comments. I don't know.
The fact that we're using
shout out to you, JD. My bad. But yeah. The Crazy is My Superpower. That is the name of AJ's book. And you know, guys, at the end of the day, this is obviously a crazy situation. But Loft, Nate, Ramado will be back. But this all kind of started with one tweet. If you remember, all those months ago, right? April 30th, 2022, I believe. Nia Jax. We all remember Nia. right?
Yeah.
She tweeted out something very, very telling. And, you know, this kind of relates to the entire situation at hand. I don't have the actual tweet like as an actual picture, but I do have the quote, and I can read it out to you guys. It's a shame. Some people don't deserve to get the opportunity to shine like the star that they really are. But unfortunately, certain higher ups can never see past our own perverted ways. Too bad there aren't the lucky ones who can use blackmail to keep their jobs. Random tweet. That started it right there. That started something. Because she's not going to just randomly tweet that out. Yeah. Well, she said random tweet, but that was obviously a sarcastic part of the tone there. That started it. That started making people think, what the heck is really going on back there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously, things came out. It's a crazy thing. I'm gonna go into the actual article though when it comes to all of this. I don't have the Wall Street Journal one because even though this one was definitely because of Wall Street Journal that came out to all of this. I got Ringside News, which brought me to a different type of website. Ramondo, just when you were gone.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm sorry. I was listening. I just was doing my post-workout concoction because I don't want to forget. Whose tweet was that you were
Nia
saying?
Jax.
Who is it?
Nia Jax.
Interesting. Okay.
So this is a report that Ringside News kind of brought me into once I clicked the article that they had on their website about the Wall Street Journal article that came out about this. Vince McMahon has been involved in several scandals throughout the years. Now another one has fallen onto his lap as $3 million in hush money is being investigated. WWE's board has opened an investigation on the CEO's Vince McMahon's secret $3 million statement. The WWE chief executive agreed to give out $3 million as a settlement to a former employee of the company leaving at that time. She left in 2019. The Wall Street Journal reported that the documents unearthed in the investigation by the board, as well as other acquisitions with the inquiry, alleged Vince McMahon of having an affair with the former employee. The former employee who was hired as a paralegal in 2019 was barred by the January 2022 separation agreement from talking about the details of her relationship with Vince. However, the investigation has gone deeper into other matters. It originally started in April, this investigation, revealing other non-disclosure agreements between former female ex-employees of the company, alleging misconduct by Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. John heads the talent relations, as we all know, within the WWE. While it's unconfirmed how many NDAs there are in total, the board's outside counsel claims that the settlements have been handed out in millions of dollars.
Such a waste of money.
It's crazy. So New York's law firm Simpson Thacher and Bartlett LLP is conducting the investigation on behalf of the WWE Board of Directors, and permanently finding of the investigation are that Vince McMahon made the female ex-employees sign NDAs and then paid off using his own funds, which is including the claims against John Laurinaitis. This is absolutely insane to even go through.
That shit's wild, bro.
It's crazy.
It's some real life.
Terms.
Like they'll make a Netflix series out of this.
Bro, this is a whole Dark Side of the Ring episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like, this is definitely Dark Side of the Ring mentality.
Can I like say my thoughts on this? So first of all, I appreciate everything you said, bro, about kind of like you was talking about AJ Lee stuff, the backstage stuff, and because you know what, I don't think until we had this conversation I was taking it as serious as I think I am now, like listening to your guys' side of it, or opinions on it. My first initial thoughts was, so I'm going to say my first initial thoughts and what I think now, and I think that shows some value in what a conversation can do. My first initial thoughts is that what's the big deal? I guess that was my first initial thoughts is what's the big deal? Clearly,
and you can say what you want here, dude. Don't worry, we're not going to judge you in any way. So just say what you have to say.
My first thought was like, what's the big deal? How many people cheat on their wives, right? Like that's the biggest crime here is the way he's, disrespecting and violating his family. As far as NDAs go, I feel like Vince McMahon is in such a position of power. He's the CEO of a billion-dollar company. Yeah. Of course, he's going to have NDAs because he doesn't want to ruin his reputation. He paid it with his own money, right? You said?
Yeah, it was his own money. Right? So when it came to John Laurinaitis' side, yeah.
Yeah. So from what we know, from what I'm gathering right now, he did some slime ball shit, don't get me wrong, but did he commit a crime? That's my question right now.
Logistically, kind of, I guess, because of the whole the misconduct thing. I believe that is considered a crime if you like.
But in affair, was it an affair or misconduct? Like, did he sexually harass or sexually harass? Okay, so sexual harassment and sexual assault are very different from affair. So words mean things here. You know what I mean? Like, he had an affair, which is, who knows what him and Linda got going on. Like there are relationships that are into that kind of shit.
I do know they're not living together at this moment.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying, like there are. I know some people that are into some weird shit, bro. So.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah,
that was my initial thought. Like, my initial thought was, why is this such a big deal? He cheated on his wife. Come on, man. That shit, you'll find that's a dime a dozen, especially when you're in a position of power and have money. But having this conversation now is where now my opinion has changed drastically. There's a lot of women in wrestling are not only eye candy. They're not items. They're not objects. They are humans. They are wrestlers. I'm a girl dad, and my daughter loves wrestling. My daughter loves to, I do suplexes on my 6-year-old daughter, bro. Like and I'll be goddamned if she was to get into wrestling and be treated that way. You know what I mean? So I think that's where my opinion, what you made me think of, bro, is like, you made me think of how these women are being treated. And I think that's where it's significant news. So maybe he's not going to go to jail and he's not going to be broke because of this. But if he's 70 years old and still mistreating women, or if they got that kind of culture in there, that shit got to go. If women are being mistreated still in 2022, after everything WWE has been through, like you were saying about AJ Lee, then that shit's got to go. If he's cheating on his wife, that's between him and his wife. So that's where I'm having two conflicting thoughts and opinions on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing, because look, at the end of the day, we all know that Vince was freaky man back in the
sure.
Wow, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even born for that. I had to watch that back, and I'm like, okay, he was wilding. You know what I'm saying?
He was a wild
man.
I'm just more thinking about it in like the future aspect of it.
Yeah.
If he was doing something wrong, which it seems like it was very wrong, get homeboy up out of here, because honestly, it's something that he may. I don't know if he's still doing it. I hope to God he's not. But even if he is, the culture of that is still backstage. So at that point, it's like a plant. You got to rip it up from its roots. You can't just you can't take off the top and think, oh, it's not gonna grow back. No, you got to take the roots of it and pull it up and then get rid of it, because this is something that we, in a way, even though there's still like those little pieces of women discrimination in wrestling, it's gotten to me. I really don't want to speak for women on this, but from my perspective, just as a fan, it got better just because of the women's revolution and how more women are taking.
Stephanie was a big part of that, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I see that as a step forward, you know. So seeing this come out is like 4 steps back. But I don't want this to keep happening. I don't want this to be the norm. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like the norm of this is having the old nasty men back there booking the women's matches. You know what I'm saying?
But I think we need to be clear that Vince is not being hit up for sexual assault or sexual harassment. This whole thing is right now, the words that are being used is affair. So the biggest crime that he has committed is cheating on his wife, not mistreating people, from my understanding. And again,
the thing is though, it's the hush money. It's the $3 million that is being thrown around out there, and just doing all this investigation with this former paralegal. I believe it was a paralegal. This former paralegal within the company. It's the hush money that people are really gravitating towards, and it's like, okay, well, if this happened here, who's to say other employees or other ex-WWE employees haven't had this, and they whether they come out or whether they don't, that is up to them, and they are going to be strong enough in order to do that if they are.
But it could be just as simple as, it could be just as simple as, look, man, I'm cheating on my wife. Please don't tell her. I'll give you $3 million if you keep your mouth shut. That's not okay, but that's not okay. But I feel like there is a possibility that this is being blown out of proportion. But then again, Vince McMahon has such a terrible reputation with treating people that I doubt he's just an innocent saint at this point in his life, you know?
Now, a person that could most likely take the fall for all of this,
Johnny Ace,
is John Laurinaitis, 100%. And Ringside News is reporting that John Laurinaitis is expected to lose his job over this WWE hush money scandal. Vince McMahon was wrapped up in a big scandal when $3 million of hush money was paid. Now the company is investigating, and it doesn't look good. Sean Ross Sapp, I mean, we know this guy very well. Fightful's behind Fightful's paywall, which is their Patreon. That WWE staff was made aware of the Wall Street Journal article, and internal emails were issued. The email said that the company is cooperating with the independent investigation. Quote, the Wall Street Journal has published a report about WWE and the allegations that we and our board of directors take seriously. We are cooperating fully with the independent investigation initiated by our board of directors. Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Nick Khan are all on the WWE board. And so they were made aware of the situation. Obviously, they were also, quote, immediate, there was also, quote, immediate speculation that someone in the company internally leaked out the information, end quote. And at the end of the day, Johnny Ace could be that guy and could be in that hot water.
You know, we got to give credit to, you got to give credit where credit is due. I think WWE investigating their own CEO, I think that says a lot about the company. Now, the outcome because they could just be investigating just to have his back, just to cover the shit up. So I think the best thing for WWE to do is if there is some wrong being done, that person needs to pay the consequences, whatever the consequences may be. And if there is no foul play, WWE needs to kind of go above and beyond and prove that there's no foul play in order for people not to think they're just covering up. I don't know. It's just a sloppy ass situation to be in. And she's a paralegal, so I'm pretty sure she knows what she's doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's crazy. People were even thinking that because of the situation that was going on, that's why Stephanie left. That's why,
coincidence?
Yeah,
probably not.
That's why, I believe I think Shane got fired at that time when he was doing this thing in January. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Bruce Pritchard and all of a sudden Vince McMahon, they're really the only two people left other than Nick Khan, obviously. Nick Khan, who obviously does the financial things of the business. Obviously, that's where the whole budget cuts came into play.
How much money do you think they saved off of these budget cuts? They got rid of a lot of people. Yeah,
I mean...
in one of their highest grossing years at that.
Yes. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. I don't even know what to even say. I don't even know what to think, because with Nick Khan, pretty much, yes, he answers to Vince, and yes, he answers to Bruce about these future endeavorings and firings and budget cuts and all that stuff. What Loff is saying is pretty true. At the end of the day, Nick Khan could be the one that's going to be pretty much running things if things go south with this case. If Vince is gone because of this, and Bruce Pritchard, as well as John Laurinaitis and all of those guys that are pretty much running the company as of right now, we're going to be looking at a very different WWE, and it's going to be Nick Khan's version of WWE.
And
whether that's good or bad.
And there's one more thing that I was thinking about too. I saw like a very few people were talking about, well, maybe what if he steps down? Vince is not going to step down. He's going to go down with this shit. I feel like him stepping down. To me, step down. To me, every time something like this happens and the person steps down, like if it's a governor or something, they step down. That's like them admitting, oh, I did something wrong. Time to go. Yeah. If Vince steps down, I think that then everyone will be like, oh, maybe he did do something wrong. He's gonna go down with the ship, but the only thing is the ship's going down pretty fast. So it's just you gotta.
Wait, what do you mean by going down with the ship? Like the company, the WWE company going down?
Yeah, I think Vince doesn't leave unless he is absolutely forced to leave.
No way, they're too big for one man to take him down.
You think so?
Wait, what do you mean? Like WWE going out of business type shit? No.
Oh, nothing like that. I've always felt like this company is so past a wrestling company. They're more of a channel, a TV channel. They're never going out of business.
So you mean Vince just taking everybody with him type shit?
The only person he can't take with him is Nick Khan, unless he was doing crazy stuff too. But I don't think he was.
He's running the money. There's no. I mean, the odds of Nick Khan not knowing some shit was going on is slim.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone at that top part is going to be investigated now, except the people, I guess, who blew the whistle. So it's just you gotta think about that stuff. But whoever takes the fall for that, and whoever's left standing when the dust settles, whoever that may be, this could, to me, I still feel like this could end up being Triple H coming back, because if
Game of Thrones, bro, this is Game of Thrones.
You know what I'm saying?
This is
if they cut all this off and the dust settles and everyone's gone, I'm talking about and this is obviously a very drastic. Say just one day we wake up, Vince, Johnny, Bruce, Nick gone. Now you got to make a decision, because the only people left is Stephanie. Even though she stepped down, they're gonna make those phone calls. They make the phone calls to Stephanie, Shane, and Triple H. Whoever picks that up, and then we go. But
Triple H is the only and this is my opinion, but who better? You know what I'm saying? I
You're
felt
right.
like
You were
Big
right.
Page, who better? You know, like
You're right. He's the only person that could take this company from what it's doing now to like better places, because to me,
Look at what he did with NXT.
exactly.
or
It's a
even
prime
keep it
example.
afloat. You know, even just keep it afloat. And it's so
Yeah.
crazy because Triple H went from you're only getting a world title match because you're with Stephanie McMahon, and here we are now, fucking 20 years later, like, oh God, we really hope Triple H takes over the entire WWE. Like it's so crazy. It could have been tested.
It's got to be a whole bunch of stuff, and I still think about this when they were doing the whole concussion stuff around like back when all that stuff happened. I'm not going to say the person's name, but you guys know, like the first that
The
huge
man whose
scandal,
name
and,
shall not be spoken.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All the CTE and concussion and stuff like that. That stuff is serious too, because they make movies about that stuff and they investigate that stuff. And the fact that he made it out of that,
but you know what? That
bonkers
needed
to me too.
As horrible as that was, that kind of needed to happen to open up some eyes and have certain conversations. It's crazy what a tragedy like this, even this right now, where I'm not even gonna talk like about him too much, but even this right now, a lot of changes are gonna be made, and we're gonna see, and not only like as far as who's in charge, but maybe the way maybe even the women's tag team champions, like just is gonna be changes all around.
That's what I'm saying. This company is not going to be the same this time next year. What day is it? June 16th? June 16th, 2023. I can make this bet right now. What episode is it? 199? This company will not be the same company when we come back on here for next year.
It'll probably be episode like 400 because 200 will be this weekend. So
exactly. When we come around here for that, this is not going to be the same company. I don't know if it's going to be for better or for worse. I hope it's for better, because I honestly, this obviously for me, this company was the thing that got me into wrestling. This was the mainstream before everything else, before the AEWs and the TNAs and stuff like that. This was the first thing. So it's like, if this goes down, which I don't think it will, but if this goes down, professional wrestling as a whole, the stock goes down, because as much as the product has fallen off since its prime, they still can tell, oh, we got record numbers and all the profits and stuff like that. It's still the most profitable wrestling company in the world.
Yeah.
So even though I still think it surpassed wrestling company, like I said, I still think this is more like an entertainment franchise now. This will no longer be a situation of this thing shutting down. This is more like, okay, either something's going to change or we're going to force it to change.
Yeah.
And I think this is people higher up. They're like, okay, we see, maybe they are listening to us. Maybe they are like, okay, obviously they don't want to go the whole scandal route, because that's just nasty in its own sense. But maybe they're taking the chances, like, all right, maybe we can actually uproot this and turn this company to what it was. You know what I'm saying? Before the whole WWF transition into the WWE, we can if they can cut something off here, maybe this can be the start of something better for this company, no matter what happens. You know, no matter what happens with who did something wrong and all that stuff, maybe this could be something like that. But this all depends on where this investigation goes and stuff like that. The only reason why I never really like thought too much into it is because the way my brain works, I never like outright judging people, one, that I don't know, and two, that situations I don't know. I don't go out of my way to go and like reprimand and judge people for stuff like that. But at the same time, you're in a situation where everyone is affected. So you have to figure out what's right and what's wrong, and then get rid of it. And once you get rid of the wrong, then it should be only right left. There shouldn't be any bad stuff left if they do this right. You know what I'm saying? If they handle the situation the correct way. So I'm worried and I'm hopeful at the same time. So
I think hopeful's the better one, because the changes are gonna come, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna be positive.
Yeah.
No matter how you slice it. Unfortunately, somebody's head got a roll, but
I followed this guy on Twitter, and he was making like all this stuff about this. He made a tweet about it, but then somebody replied to it saying this: 2021, We know what happened there. Triple H got fired, but then he also got rehired as a regular employee from his obvious job in NXT to other job opportunities that he is doing right now. We don't know what those are right now, but we know he's not running NXT. In 2022.
So, I'm sorry, Triple H got fired from NXT?
Yes. He got fired from NXT from his own father-in-law, Vince and Bruce, because they wanted to transition from NXT Black and Gold to NXT 2.0, which is what we see today with the Braun Breakers, the Carmelo Hayeses, and all that stuff. They wanted to change the entire aspect of it.
But he didn't want to do that.
No. Triple H wanted to continue doing it as a legit brand, but Vince and Bruce said, no, this has to be a developmental company at the end of the day, and we're going to turn this around into a developmental brand. And they fired him. He fired his own son-in-law for that. And then all of a sudden, we never heard from Triple H for a long time until the WWE new Titan Towers headquarters was being built. Because then all of a sudden we saw a video of him taking a walk through the construction site of said new building. So then all of a sudden that was happening. In January of 2022, as we all know, Shane McMahon got fired because of his scandal when it comes to the Royal Rumble.
What was
the
that?
Royal Rumble,
he wanted to win, right?
Yes, he wanted to win it.
Crazy.
Because, and... You know, Ben says, you know what, screw you. We're firing you too.
So funny, yo.
My man wanted to headline WrestleMania.
He wanted to win. He wanted to headline WrestleMania, wanted to win the Rumble, and Ben said, no, screw you. So you fired him.
They must imagine walking into that room talking about, I want to win the Royal Rumble. Everybody's like, what?
What are you talking about?
You want to?
Kevin Owens was probably flipping his shit.
You mean the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, right?
Walks in there with the music doing the dance.
Goddamn Braun Strowman, I believe that one was.
I know, but it's just crazy for Shane to think that, like, fuck, dude, you gotta be kidding me, bro. You want to win what?
I can't.
You want to win what, bro?
and he still calls himself the best in the world. That won't.
Oh God.
First of all, I love Shane McMahon. I think he's another one that's underappreciated because he's just done so much, but he may be getting a little too hot for his own bridges. You know, talking about I want to win the Royal Rumble,
and that's what everybody was saying when January was around and that report came out and that whole scandal for him. But and then in May/June, as we all know, when Stephanie McMahon left, they say Stephanie said that she wanted to focus on her own family, but then all of a sudden when this came about, people are legitimately thinking this could be one of the reasons, whether that is or is not the case.
Yeah,
she left in May.
Stephanie just seems like Stephanie's such a smart businesswoman that if she left, because Stephanie got her, she got her a lot of different pots too. So if she left because she knew her father fucked up, she would be the type to just not put it out there and say she's going to take care of her own and just leave quietly because she has other things that she's doing. But, it's kind of obvious to us. Even if we're wrong, it's obvious.
And the thing is, she is a part of the board. So she's actually investigating this along with the other people that are a part of the board too.
Which is probably why she left, because she's not trying to – that's conflict of interest for sure.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden now in June with Johnny Ace possibly getting fired. I mean, that.
How do you think Nikki Bella feels about this? Her stepdad.
I forgot she's dating.
How you think Bryan Danielson feel about this?
Well, here's the thing. They're actually getting a divorce. So they're getting a divorce. Yeah, they're getting a divorce. I definitely heard that.
You know who's probably like licking his fingers? Tony Khan. He's probably like. Tony Khan's gonna buy WWE.
Do you understand how nuts that would be?
That shit would be crazy if he bought WWE. He'd be in the ring because Tony Khan loves to make his announcements. He'd be like, "I got something major to announce. You guys remember when I bought Ring of Honor?
Ring of Honor.
Guess what? I bought the WWE."
Everybody,
that would be the biggest.
And here's the thing: when Shane got initially fired, people are legitimately thinking, "Oh my God, Shane McMahon is all elite. Shane McMahon's going to AEW." Oh, like,
here comes the money. That would be wild.
And then all of a sudden with June, obviously Johnny Ace is possibly going to get fired. At the end of the day, listen, Johnny Ace is going to be the one to fall for this. If anything, he's the right hand man of he's the right hand man of Vince. Other than Bruce, we all know Bruce is up there as well. But Laurinaitis, he's definitely going to be the one to fall for this. Bruce or Johnny will be fired, and then all of a sudden it's up to Vince to either take care of his own shit and either do something about this, or the board has to do something too. It's a crazy situation. I don't even know where to even go from here. But Bruce, Vince, and Nick Khan, they're really the only three people left.
Vince is like 75 years old. I don't think he's like fucking shitting his pants right now.
Here's the thing. A report came out earlier on today that tomorrow for SmackDown, he's just running business as normal. He's not even freaking caring about it.
He's probably not tripping, not one bit. That dude's been, he's had the steroid era. He had the man who shall not be named era. He's had the Owen Hart thing. Like, he's had so much. He's dealt with way worse shit than this. This is just another Tuesday afternoon, Friday evening is all it is to him. That dude has gone through, because when Owen Hart passed away, that was something that was probably like, damn it. Yeah. When that thing happened with what's his name? He was probably like, shit. That was something.
And for sure when that Owen Hart thing happened, Martha Hart, as we all know, she just lost all complete faith in professional wrestling, not even just WWE. It was just professional wrestling.
This is a walk in the park. This is nothing to him. He's been through, in comparison, this really ain't shit. In comparison.
To be completely honest, you're right. But
so, Vince will be all right. And he's 75 years old. At 75 years old, you think I'm gonna give a shit what people say about me? If with the money Vince is sitting on right now.
Not the Bill Cosby stuff, please. Or
no. Lord Jesus.
Listen, and people were even trying to tell me, oh my gosh, this is exactly like Deshaun Watson too. Stop.
Oh shit. Stop. Imagine Vince.
No, it's not.
Imagine
no,
Vince,
it's not.
Imagine Vince open his drawer and he just pull out a bunch of Quaaludes and shit. Like, he's just like
See, now we're gonna get in trouble. See?
Now we're gonna get in trouble.
Right, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, we're good. Nate was the one that brought it up. Jesus Christ.
Lord Jesus.
Bro, I haven't said nothing on podcast, bro.
You guys are out of pocket.
That's not our fault.
We do not endorse the actions of these men.
Yeah, no, we do not endorse. Listen, I saw MJ in here earlier. MJ, he was trying to promote underage drinking earlier in the chat. No, we do not promote that, and we do not promote this.
Somebody said, hold on, I'm sorry, but somebody said Vince Cosby. That's hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah, no, we gotta get out of here.
I'll say one more thing, and then I'm done. I'll say one more thing.
I apologize.
Oh my God. No, you're good.
I say
PG-13, right? This is PG-13?
No, well, yeah, no, listen.
But damn.
Everybody in this chat knows we have no filter, so.
That was great. That was funny.
Vince and John Laurinaitis was giving out a lot of people power to that purely.
Nope, we're done. No.
We're done.
Look, press
People
E.
power.
Press E. You gotta go, man.
All right, guys. Listen, this was a ton of fun talking about these stories, regardless, even if it did get a little crazy at the end. Thank you, Nate. But there's obviously going to be more stuff coming out about this throughout the next few weeks. I mean, trust me, with this story coming out and with more like huge news outlets getting this, there's definitely going to have to be something that comes out of this, right? And the Sasha Banks situation, the Randy Orton back injury situation. I mean, those are nothing into comparison as to what this is most likely going to transpire to. But Vince is going to continue doing what he's doing. He's going to continue running this company until something goes down, until the board tells him to either you just legitimately need to step the fuck down, or she's going to carry this thing like as usual. Yes, he's running SmackDown just as he would any other Friday tomorrow. I don't know how the women are going to feel backstage, because that with this coming out, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Or you just get Ronda Rousey to snap his arm.
Well, Ronda would love to do that probably. But we're gonna hear some things, and it's gonna get crazy. So I want you guys to be prepared. But I mean, like Ramondo said, he's not caring about this one bit until he honestly kind of has to.
Yeah.
Or anybody else kind of has to.
Yeah, he's not tripping until he has to trip. I agree.
Because as of right now, this is only one person that's come out and saying this. If there's more people, yes, we're going to have to talk about this, because there's something there. If there's more people, in my opinion. But I mean, that's either here or there. But we love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this special Thursday episode of Outside the Brand. We normally don't do things on Thursdays, but with this coming out and we didn't have a OTB episode for Dynamite, this news really took precedence, and I wanted to get something out to you guys. Tomorrow there will be a podcast though, and it will be Friday Night SmackDown. It will be AEW Rampage, and we will be doing a full show review on both of those. And that will be episode 200. Yes, Aiden, that will be.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Episode 200 tomorrow?
Yeah, which would be the review, but we are definitely going to be doing our celebration during the weekend, because I mean that would just make all the sense in the world, and it just happened to fall episode 200 being a SmackDown. Unless you guys don't care about SmackDown, we can just do the celebration. I mean, if you guys don't care about SmackDown or Rampage, we can just do it.
Hey,
was it the only? I'll go ahead, Locke.
I think the only match we really do care about is Roman and Riddle.
Do you want to do a watch along?
That could be something.
We could do that. We could do that.
And we can invite guests along too. I mean, hell, I know a ton of people that would love to watch the Riddle stuff with me. I got people in mind already.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone cares unless Riddle wins. We could
do it on freaking TikTok. We could do it on both at the same time.
That's true.
I was gonna go live anyway for TikTok, because it's such a big moment anyway for Riddle. I mean, this is going to be a huge opportunity for Riddle. It's going to be a test, but it's going to show that he could hang with the big boys and he can be a main event star. Because I know he can be.
With Randall Keith Orton as his mentor, you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
I still don't like that he's doing all of Randy's moves, but
right, yeah.
I don't like that either.
Right, yeah.
I don't like that either. I you know what? I'm glad you said that, because I kind of felt like I was going to sound like like a hater, but I think you could have Riddle, being his mentee and still using his own moveset. Because Randy
You can
Orton,
have influence, for sure.
but Randy Orton's moves he
It's
does
his.
normal wrestling moves, but it's the way he does them. Randy has a certain machismo to him that Riddle's trying to do.
Nobody does a Randy Orton power slam, like that scoop power slam, like Randy Orton.
Right, and Riddle did that the other day, and I was just like, stop. Yeah.
I mean, nobody does that Hangman DDT like a Randy Orton because he gets so hyped up during it. He's like flailing his arms around. I remember one time, I believe just like back in 2011, do you guys remember the toe touch moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that was on a script or whatever, but man, he got so hyped for that moment.
He spoke about it. It wasn't planned.
I think he RKO'd goddamn. I think it was Mark Henry that he did that too, and he got so hyped up.
Yeah, Christian just looked at him like, what in the world was that? Like, what was that?
Yeah.
But man, I 100% agree, and I was gonna say that too on like a TikTok, but I didn't want to sound like a goddamn, oh man, you're just a Riddle hater. Oh my god, this that. No, it's legitimately the truth. I want the Bro Derek back. I want a floating bro. I want to see the Riddle that we've seen before.
Right.
But I don't mind having influences. Obviously, people have influence all over the world, and they continue to pay tribute to their mentors or however.
Right.
Cody does the figure 4 for Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Miz, well, I believe at the time Ric Flair gave the Miz the figure 4 or whatever, and that's why he started using it all those years ago and still today. Influences, not bad. But taking somebody's moves, that's something. And I know, I feel a lot of people think he's only using the RKO just to turn on Randy. When the time is right, he'll do the RKO out of nowhere. I don't want that, guys. I don't want Riddle to be the heel. I don't.
You know what? So I think that Riddle is kind of overdoing it. So Triple H, Seth Rollins uses the pedigree every now and then, and I think Seth Rollins is doing it correctly now.
Yes.
Riddle, he's kind of too much, bro. Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, I remember in AEW when Cody was trying to do the pedigree all those times, or at least setting up for the pedigree, and then all of a sudden he just did the Tiger Driver 98. And I'm like, really? You're doing the Tiger Driver? And then all of a sudden he used the pedigree inside Hell in a Cell. I'm like, there you go. You finally goddamn get it. I'm like, what are you doing all this time?
That's kind of like the same with Kevin Owens too, with him doing the stunner. It's cool that Kevin Owens got
Stone Cold gave him that though.
Yeah, like he gave him permission.
Did he though? Because I remember in the podcast Stone Cold was just like, damn, put some stink on that.
No, he gave him permission. He asked.
He gave him permission. Like there was like an actual thing about it.
Bro, my favorite move, like an underrated favorite move of mine, is always that pop-up power bomb, bro.
Yeah,
that pop-up power bomb, bro. Oh my god.
On the apron,
he rarely uses that anymore.
Bro, when I went to Hell in a Cell and I saw him do it, I got so hyped. I'm like, oh my god! I said, did he just do a pop-up power bomb? I haven't seen that move in like years, like, bro.
Now, Sammy didn't steal this, but I always thought the Blue Thunder Bomb should have always been his finisher. Whenever he is that Blue Thunder Bomb, oh my, it's so beautiful. I always thought the Huluva kick should have been the setup for the Blue Thunder Bomb. Yeah. Obviously, you do the Huluva kick, you get him out of the corner, you get him in that position, and you do the Blue Thunder Bomb 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And the match could be over. I always thought the Blue Thunder Bomb could have easily been that guy's finisher.
I agree. It's such a better move. That move, that whole spin, just like Baron Corbin when he hits the what is it?
The Deep Six.
Not the Deep Six. Oh yeah, the Deep Six. Yeah, he hits the Deep Six. The Deep Six is a way more devastating move than the End of Days, I think. So, I don't know.
just swapping it out. You could have done something like with the end of days as like your signature, and then
If The
obvious,
Rock made the people's elbow work, and the people's elbow work is one of the dumbest finishes.
I think it is. I think it is one of the dumbest finishes really ever.
But The Rock makes the people's elbow work, man, and it's all about what the person is putting into it. So,
oh yeah.
I mean, the people's elbow is a very stupid fucking move. Great move.
But the only reason why people love it so much is because The Rock, he continues to elevate it in ways that we never thought it could.
Yes. It started with the slide. Ric Flair strut,
I mean, hell, that's another move that kind of is like that. Not that it's stupid or anything like that, but the stunner. The stunner is all about the sell, too.
Yes.
It's not an easy move to do, but like you do the thing, you go down, but it's really
there's not much power needed for it.
Yeah, but it's the selling that influences that, and it emphasizes what's happening. Look at Pat McAfee. Look at Austin Theory. Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. I mean, that was one of the greatest sells for the stunner of all time. It's such finishers and signatures. I don't know how we got to this part of it, but they really emphasize something when it comes to a character. But yeah, that's what we usually do here too, Ramondo. I just want to let you know, we just randomly go into like just random rants, and we just do things happen.
Sounds like a conversation with me, my friend.
And there we go. We officially reached 2 hours of the podcast. But this is a very fun time, guys. I want to appreciate and just Ramondo being here. Ramondo, this was an absolutely fun time talking with you, my man. We've grown so much just knowing each other and just doing other podcasts and all that.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah.
You are a genuinely good dude.
Thank you, man. We're a tag team,
NJ, you're just coming on now.
You late as crap, bro.
I just want to say hi, and I got bored again, so like, why not?
Bro. He's in our group chat where I send the link, so he just pops in whenever. Most likely at the end of the stream. What's going on, man?
Come on, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, we're out of here, man. I gotta go night.
Man, for real. I got work in the morning, bro.
ETS hashtag CM Punk.
CM Punk. All right. Armando, thank you so much for joining us. You're obviously going to be you're going to be coming back here because you're a genuinely good dude.
Thank you, man.
And we appreciate it. I mean, Loft, Nate, I think I can speak for everyone here saying this is a great conversation.
Thanks,
indeed,
guys.
bro.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. Really appreciate it.
Always.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Have a good night. I'm out of here.
All right.
I'll talk to you. All right, guys, that was great.
I can't explain. I'm sorry. Like, well, damn. I'm late. I mean, technically, if we're talking from a black people standpoint, I'm black, so we're always late. So,
oh my god, yeah.
Press E.
We're ending it now.
Come on, man.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Episode 200 will be tomorrow. We're probably only going to be talking about that Roman Riddle match, and then that's it. But then other than that, it's episode 200, baby. We're gonna have to celebrate.
I'll be here. I won't be late again. Promise. So
get ready. It's gonna be a great time. Thank you guys. We appreciate you. Episode 200. Here we come. Thank you guys, and we'll talk to you very soon. Have a good night, guys.